And we're back in here. We've got a Political Friday. Mark Yarbrough running his first political campaign.
Yes, sir.
Unless you did something I didn't know about.
No, this
Limestone
is
County.
number one.
Why do you want to be Limestone County Commission Chairman anyway, Mark?
Because I want us to have a vision for the future, to have a plan. We don't have any plan in action. We need a 10-year projected revenue, expenditures, capital improvement, infrastructure improvement plan. We need a 5-year plan. And we'll adjust that annually as our revenue and our projected expenditures go out. We don't have any of that.
I was going to say, what do we got now?
A 2-week plan, I think. We just show up every 2 weeks at a meeting and see what happens. Dan Williams always had a plan, long-term plan. He was mayor of Athens. It's still in place today.
You had a press conference today on the Courthouse Square. The News Courier report, county chairman candidate releases 100-day plan.
Yes, sir.
What all was in that?
Well, from day one, we're going to call for a countywide audit of all budgets and all contracts to see where we are in the county. You know, for example, how much money did Limestone County borrow in 2013?
I don't have a clue.
Well, now, nobody reads the paper no more than you. You go over it every morning.
Yeah, but I ain't looking for stats. I just want to see the headlines.
Well, but in our budget we're paying now, there's debt service on the 2013 bond issue. We went out and borrowed money in 2013, but I can't find any record of how much money we borrowed, what it went toward. We just want more open and honest government.
What about wasteful expenditures that I know some people have said about the LNS building and stuff like that?
All the groups I've went and spoke to, I've tried to speak to all the volunteer fire departments. I like a couple, I think. The Retired Teachers Association, all the various groups. Wasteful spending is the number one issue people want to talk about. Number one. And it's like the LNS property. You know, this obviously wasn't a good purchase. I really hadn't criticized the purchase of it. I've criticized how it was handled after it was purchased. If you'll notice in the article that was written, my opponent said that all the chairman does is set the agenda and doesn't vote. Well, if he don't put it on the agenda, it can't be voted on. But be that as it may, once you bought it, it was purchased. The plan that was in the paper is we're going to renovate the Fred's building. Our projected budget for that was $300,000. So when the bids come in, it was $350,000. So instead of saying, okay, we've already bought the building, we're going to go ahead and spend the extra $50,000 to renovate the Fred's, we decided that, our leadership decided, well, no, we're going to spend $50,000 to demo it and haul it off. Then we're going to go 2 miles down the road and we're going to spend $1,150,000 to $1,200,000 to renovate this 35.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's no plan. I mean, last June in the paper, my opponent said, hey, we've gutted out this Better Living building and we're about ready to, it's about 100% done. And we'll be ready to move in. Well, it's a year later and they've spent over $700,000 and I think they're moving this week.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of plan is that? And it's all
you
money,
passed out 5,000 of these.
Sir, exactly. I have a 11-month-old, a 27th grandson. The money that's being borrowed to do all these upgrades, you know, it's like the bid for the jail expansion. It's in the paper, it's $3.4 million. There's 4 contractors, but they don't tell you there's a construction manager hired to basically coordinate and watch them, that you're going to pay roughly another $400,000. So there's $3.8 million. There's 1.2, so we're at $4 or $5 million, $600,000. Another thing on the LNS property that you ain't thought about, because you see that when we just give $525,000, but it come off the tax roll. The previous owner was paying probably $10,000 or $15,000 a year property tax. We've had it 2.5 years, so there's another $20,000 to $30,000 this costs the taxpayers.
Nobody thought about that.
Yeah, the county don't pay taxes to themselves.
Well, let me ask you, you're a lifelong resident of Limestone County, played
Yes,
basketball.
Coach Davis.
Coach Davis, talked to him earlier this week, and you just love Limestone County.
I really do. Well, I've lived my whole life. I'm a small businessman. I've invested my entire life in Limestone County.
So that's why should people vote Mark Yarbrough coming up on June 3rd?
Because you're going to have a plan, you're going to have a vision. It's going to be, we're going to take the door off the chairman's office. It's not going to be any more people here wondering, well, how much have we spent for this? Where money has went there? You're going to have a plan. You'll be able to go online on the county website. Here's our plan. Here's where we're going to be moving forward.
Are you tired of campaigning?
I've loved it, every second of it. I've reconnected with many. You know, I was over the Booster Club, you know, all the T-ball and baseball and basketball for Limestone County for 4 years, and I've been able to reconnect with a lot of kids. Now, the one thing is Tom McClung up West Limestone. He coached his son. I seen him yesterday, and golly bum, you know, my son's 23 now, and his son's looking down at me, and I'm almost 6'5", and then I remember him as being just a little kid. So I've realized my
Any
age.
regrets about running for
None whatsoever. None.
Wife working you to death?
Always.
Coordinating everything
Always.
for you?
Well, she's the boss.
All right. Well, Mark, good luck. I've known you a long time. You talked to me about this a couple of years ago that you were going to do this. So now it's a dream come true. So if you win on that June 3rd.
And I appreciate it, and I appreciate the professionalism and the courage that you and Gloria have extended to me in my campaign. I'd urge everybody to please go vote June 3rd, preferably for Mark Yarbrough for chairman, but please go exercise your constitutional right and go
And
vote.
thanks for the 5,000th
That's it.
flyer in here this
Then I'll
morning.
personally hand it out.
All right, thank you, Mark. Let me
Thank
hit
you.
Zach up with some words of wisdom on this Friday before he goes out and takes over the head man at ad train. What's happening, Zach?
Remember, as long as you're breathing, it's never too late to start a new beginning.
Oh, really?
And one more. Stay away from what might have been and look at what will be.
All right, Zach, roll tide.
Roll
You too,
tide,
Mark.
Roll tide.
Roll tide, buddy. You're getting there soon, and good luck on the 3rd.
Thank you
and
very
look forward
much.
to seeing you out on here the next week. We'll
you.
take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Ed Henry from over Hearts Away. Dan Williams says he's the most hated man in Montgomery.
Oh!
That's good.
Controversy.
That's good news, ain't it, Dan? We'll check with him next. Y'all hang on.
Local and loving